think that you need to be the biggest advocate for yourself or for your family. I mean, just because somebody says something doesn't mean that they're correct. Do what you've always done your whole life. Question things, right? And then always call your friends or your other support groups that you've been part of in terms of what are they doing different or how are they coping with this. Because a lot of this is also networking. And I think this is a great time because if you look at most support groups here, is that it's always located in a hospital or a particular center. Now that people are actually connecting like on these online platforms, maybe it's time for us to be more ambitious, right? And maybe it's time for us to kind of bypass just what one hospital thinks. Because if you go to one place, you're only going to get what they think. You're not going to get anything more than that, right? So imagine
Yeah.
starting something that, and maybe we'll discuss this later, is to start a platform where we invite people from anywhere to kind of join us to kind of not just talk about this, but more to give their experiences because I think it's important for people to know it's different in other places because if you go to one place and they say no, 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 and you start thinking, well, this is just the way it is everywhere, that could be a problem, right? So I say
Yeah.
reach out first in your local area and then in your state and then across the country. Because this is an easy way to do things because we almost need a scoreboard as to who's doing what, who's allowing what to happen. And hospitals like to compete, right? So it's
Yep.
nice to know almost have a bulletin board and saying, this is what's happening here, this is what's happening here, this is what's happening here. So then, because, for example, New York was badly hit, no question about it, but North Carolina wasn't so badly hit. So if we have the same restrictions as we do in New York, we haven't served our patients well at all, right? So the question
True.
becomes always question something that doesn't make sense to you. Don't underestimate your own thinking through all this. Be an advocate for yourself. And, let's form bigger groups so that we can see what's happening all over the country.